Mulch piles are good for more than one thing, and the kids are having a great time playing on this massive mulch pile. Some of you may be wondering what we're gonna do with this. It's a lot of mulch. It's about 10 big truckloads. As part of our mold house job, we actually have a lot of grading that needs doing. Additionally, we need to actually level this spot here too, because eventually we're actually gonna put an addition right where this shed is. We have an awesome yard, but we don't really have a ton of flat yard. So the plan is to actually take all that dirt from that area and actually bring it down here and level this area that'll be right beside our house a little bit. We're gonna be doing a bunch of grading. It may be after when we can plant grass, and that mulch will go on that dirt if it's after we can plant grass. If we have any mulch left after that, there's a big install I want to do around our apple trees, but that will come after our house is done. In the meantime though, it's providing hours of sledding, summer sledding and entertainment for these kids. You guys gonna show me your summer sledding?
Yeah.
What you working on, girl?
I am making a ton of food to bring to Meg and Ben, because they just had a baby. Our friends Meg and Ben just had a baby. Many of you know them. And I am finally getting to meet the baby today. Me and the girls are going, and we're bringing a bunch of food and some baby clothes. Do you want to see what I got her? So we got her some teeny tiny little things because she said that newborn stuff wasn't quite fitting the baby yet, so we found some like teeny tiny stuff. And then we also got her some stuff for later on. The girls and I just had a ball because when we were shopping for her baby shower, we didn't know if she was having a boy or a girl, so we got we got too much. Joyful picked this one out. I love it. Happy, loved, adored. So we're coming with our arms full of food and baby clothes, and I bought Meg my favorite kind of caffeinated coffee. I think she can have caffeinated coffee now. And we're bringing just an abundance. So I know you guys are gonna ask, I'm actually bringing chicken tikka masala and some bread and some granola, and then of course a ton of flowers. I plan to bring her a bunch of flowers. This is my kind of day, cooking for my friend and getting ready to go see that sweet little baby and see Meg. And I'm just really excited about my day. Probably too excited. It's not, my friends, we're kind of out of that age where everyone's having babies all the time. So it's been a while since I've gotten to make a meal and like go visit someone that just had a baby.
A minute ago I came into the camper and it was really kind of a beautiful thing. Brianna was in here cutting up chicken and cooking and really just happy she was going to see the haulers. And she was listening to a beautiful song and she was singing along with it. Now, something that happens over and over and over when we're making YouTube videos is we'll be playing music and we're like, this is such a beautiful moment, like what's happening in our life and the music we're playing, but we can't play it in the videos because we'll lose all of our income for the video.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah, and you can get in trouble for it. What I want to do actually, so that you can share this music that we love so much, I'm going to actually link that song with a card right up here. The song is called Steadfast, and the musician is Josh Garrels. We've actually met him before, and he has the same number of kids as us.
Basically at the same time. He got married around the same time. We've had kids at basically the same time.
After one of his shows, and we stayed till the very end. We were like the very last people to leave out of probably 700 people, maybe 500 people. And we just talked to him, and he was hanging out and talking.
His wife was there that day.
Yeah. And you can just imagine that playing behind the video.
Our dream is to have him come do like a small concert in our barn. And we're going to make it happen one day if we can.
What are you guys doing?
Having a snack.
What are you eating?
Macaroni and cheese.
Mac and cheese? You just raided the fridge?
Wait a second.
Lunch is over. That was easy.
Didn't we already feed you today? Anybody want a fig? I just picked them off the fig tree. Yep. Look at all this amazing fruit we're getting off this fig tree. Look, look at this guy.
I'm so glad we planted that tree here.
I'm so glad we planted
It was
that.
like the first fruit tree we planted.
Yeah, me too. I get such an abundance every year after year of figs. My favorite fruit. It really is my favorite fruit. You want one?
Did you really pick this off the tree?
The kids really think I'm serious. I'm just joking.
We're actually just kidding you. These figs are from the grocery store. This is our fig tree, and it's covered with fruit. There's 100 figs on here. They're green right now, and we're just making a little point about climate appropriateness for trees. Now, I love this fig tree. I'll probably keep it because it's just beautiful every year. And if you ever, find yourself short on clothing, you always got fig leaves.
Figs, no matter the variety it seems, they can't live long enough to bear ripe fruit in our climate. We can drive an hour south and harvest figs from people's fig trees.
So what happens is this fig tree basically freezes to the ground every year and then comes back. Like Brianna said though, the crazy thing is you could plant this tree an hour drive out of the mountains from here and you would likely get a harvest every single year because the climate is so different when you drop out of the mountains. And that just speaks to really choosing your plants wisely if you were worried about production. The chickens are loving being out of confinement. We were at the beach for a week and they were cooped up, and so they're loving being out. It's been a slow recovery from being at the beach. It's been 3 days and we're just still catching up on everything. Yesterday, I got the pigs out of the barn and back into their outdoor area, and they are happy to be out there in the sun, in the mud again. They didn't have any mud in the barn. The first thing they did when they got out of the barn was flop down in the mud. I had a little bit of a time getting them into their fence because they just wanted to run in the pasture. So they ran in circles around the cows and other animals and finally got them into the fence. And they were just thrilled to be out there, out of that stall. Here, pig. Come on, piggy. We kind of crashed when we got home, just exhausted and recovering and catching up. I still have yet to get the cow back on rotation schedule, and I'm going to try to do that this afternoon or tomorrow. She's still on the whole pasture, which is not ideal, but incrementally we're just getting everything back on track the way we want it. I came down here to deal with a little bit of a situation and found an even bigger situation. The situation is the sauerkraut. The bigger situation is the dog goes in this stall when the chickens are out, so he doesn't kill any of the chickens, which he doesn't often do, but it has happened. But I found the door open and he's nowhere to be seen, and the chickens are all out. Come on, there you are. That was easy. Go in there. Get in there. There you go. Lay down there. Thank you, buddy. Chickens out. All the chickens go out. You don't know how bad this could be for you, chickens. Okay, back to this sauerkraut situation. What happened is the timing was just really bad when we went to the beach because we literally made this sauerkraut and skedaddled. And so I know for a fact a few of these are bad, and I'm pretty sure the reason they're bad is because they didn't all produce enough brine to cover, and it's something you can fix if you're not at the beach. So I'm just going through and pulling out. There's a couple more I didn't notice right when I got home. I'm just pulling these out. This is not what you want to see. You know, interestingly, I've never had a batch of sauerkraut go bad. Ever. Never once. There's 23 good jars, 3 have bad junk on the top. Popsicle time, brain freeze. Oh man. This is not a hard thing to solve, actually, and my sister Anna and I are actually making a fermenting course, and she's creating these documents to go along with the course. And one of the documents, hey, do you have just a second? Can you tell me off your little reference guide how to make my saline solution to top off my sauerkraut? I'm okay with a 5% brine because I'm just topping off a tiny bit. 3 tablespoons of salt, 1 quart of water for a 5%. Here's a wonderful meal that Mama made for the haulers, and the kids are chowing down on a little bit of it. It's so nice to share a home-cooked meal with people, even if you don't see them. The boys and I are staying here. Mama and the girls are going down. And it turned out amazing, like it does every time. That was simple enough. Now what I'm just going to do is top off each of these that needs a little bit more brine. I didn't expect I've used so much, I actually made 2 quarts, not just one, and I used all of it, and I still have almost half the jars, so I'm gonna go make some more. I topped off almost all of those jars. They look really good. I am so excited about this batch of sauerkraut. I have been missing sauerkraut. We ran out of sauerkraut that we made last year, months and months ago. I love eating sauerkraut and I've been missing it. I eat it almost every day when I have it available. So what's dripping from above? There shouldn't be anything dripping in the barn. It's milk and it's dripping on my head. And I'm... Ah! Do you guys want to try some sauerkraut? Mm-hmm. I wasn't planning on it, but we can get one down and try it if you want.
Yeah.
We'll take this one right here. This one looks good. As good as any. So why is milk dripping on my head? And why am I not as worried about it as you might think I should be? This is a really funny and accidental segue to a really quick lesson about fermenting, and that is sterile versus clean. Why is the milk dripping on my head? It's because when we went on vacation, we had a bunch of milk and we threw some of it in the freezer in glass half-gallon jars. Normally that works. I think one of them was too full, so it cracked. So we got back from the beach. It was totally cracked. We're worried about broken glass. We put it in here to go up in the dumpster. It all melted and this bag is leaking. Why am I not worried about it? It's because unpasteurized milk doesn't stink. It doesn't go foul. Period. When someone told me this for the first time, I actually didn't believe it. I was like, nah, that can't be true. That's just ridiculous. But I've come to find out through practical experience that it's totally true. If you take a jar of pasteurized milk from the grocery store and you set it on your countertop next to a jar of unpasteurized milk from your farm and give it a week, you will have a shocking discovery, and that is the pasteurized milk goes foul. You know what that smells like. Evil foul. Like it's gonna make you vomit. The unpasteurized milk doesn't go foul, it just sours. And it actually smells good. And you can actually make cheese by setting milk on your counter and letting it separate, which I'm not bold enough to do, I don't think. And this is a lesson about fermenting. Why? It's because if you sterilize your cabbage before you make sauerkraut, you'll have a foul, sloppy mess. But if you just leave it like it is with the bacteria that's on it, you put it in the jar, it just works its magic. Hey, you got a setup for us. Wow, you look like you're excited. This is, I promise this was not planned. I actually was not planning on tasting sauerkraut. Today has been very spontaneous, for better or worse. We're gonna throw that top cabbage leaf off. It looks beautiful in here. You're gonna serve yourself? Mm-hmm. I love that you got plates and forks for everyone. Who did that? All right. How does it taste? You're the first one to taste this year's sauerkraut, buddy.
Good.
Is it good?
More salt.
It needs more salt?
Mm-hmm.
You're funny.
Literally.
You really think it needs more salt?
Mm-hmm.
Anna said she thought we went a little light. The coolest thing about tasting sauerkraut, other than the fact that it's this amazing living product we made on our own farm from our own food, the coolest thing about tasting it is that this is unlike any sauerkraut you've ever had before from the store because it's just a week and a half old. I've said that in every video I've made about making homemade sauerkraut and why you should do it. It's because it's a different beast when it's fresh. Oh man, because it's still crunchy and it's fresh tasting.
It's yummy.
It's got that tang like store-bought sauerkraut, but it still has the freshness. Well, this jar is going in the fridge so we can eat it all week. Mm-hmm. It could go in the cabinet. It doesn't have to be in the fridge.
You want to try some?
Mmm, yummy, yummy. See if they can taste it through the camera. Mmm.
Can I have some more?
Can you have some more? Of course you can have some more. Okay guys, I promised you that I would do something fun, right? Mm-hmm. When your mom was gone. Because you wanted to go to the Hollers, but you couldn't go because Miss Meg is having her peaceful baby time. So the boys stayed home. Listen, we're gonna do 2 jobs and then we're gonna go do a surprise. We gotta give the baby chicks new wood bedding because they're getting stinky. And we need to get all the old cucumbers and feed them to the pigs. You guys are going to go get the cucumbers in one of those big baskets right
Easy.
there. Get as many cucumbers as you can carry and bring them down.
What basket?
And I'll get the baby chicks wood chips.
What basket?
Okay, I'll see you in just a minute. I forgot my pitchfork. Whew. That's a lot of work. Uh-oh, get that chicken in. I'm trying to do this without giving them a heart attack. We'll let them spread those out. And then we'll need to get them new food and water. They're going to fill up their water completely. I don't think you need this. Here you go anyway.
Sounds funny.
You got some cucumbers for me?
Oh,
Nice, yellow cucumbers.
just fold them into
Come here. All right, the surprise is we're gonna ride our bikes to the river. Is that a good surprise? Yeah.
Yeah, so what if I fall off my bike?
We'll go slow. Go get two helmets. I don't care if they're yours or your sister's. Get
Oh, yeah.
helmets and get shoes on. So we have a cool secondary road, well, small road we can take to the river on our bikes. We've never shown this in our videos, but it's not that long of a ride. Bree's gonna pick us up on her way back from the hollers, and I think we're gonna have an awesome time. The cool thing though is that we're on back roads all the way there. This is something I've wanted to do all summer long with these kids. We made it. You made it, buddy.
Well, I can't believe we just went somewhere home.
You can't believe it? We did it. We're here at the river. We're gonna ride up along this road, and if we have time, we'll go swimming if Bree doesn't get to us before we get there. No, it's a long uphill ride. We've actually never been to this very exact spot, so it's cool to see a new little section of the river. This is actually an island right here, so this is the smaller channel of this river, and it's a big island. I've had this crazy idea for a long time, and I've not been able to do it, so maybe one of you can do it. If you do, please let me know. Raise goats on an island. So this island is totally surrounded with water. Goats hate water, and you could drop off like 6 little wethers on this island in the spring, and then you could harvest them for meat in the fall, or you could sell them for meat in the fall, and I think you could actually make a really good business of it, because they could get everything they needed to eat off an island like this for at least 8 months, and they would never leave. They would never leave. The only danger would be floods, and that wouldn't be the case on this island. There's some high hills on it. Possibly coyotes, if coyotes will swim a river to catch their game. Now, I've said we've not been here exactly, but right up there is one of our favorite spots. On the upper end of the island, there's a huge gravel bar. I don't think we've ever filmed there. So pretty, beautiful. And then you can swim in the main river on the other side. All right, guys, jump out. We've had our adventure. Let's go. Hey, good looking, what's cooking?
Subway.
Subway's cooking.
Did you have fun?
Hey girls, you had fun at the hollers?
What an epic adventure.
You know what they said? They said, we don't believe we're going to do it. I said, yeah, we're going to ride down there. They said, I don't believe it. They said, I don't believe that we're actually going to do that, Dad.
You just rode your bikes all the way.
How's that baby doing?
When I walked in, she looked like a baby doll, like literally a baby doll.
Did you have fun seeing her?
She was smaller
really sweet.
than my baby doll at home, and my baby doll's like this big.
It was super fun.
She was tiny, tiny, tiny.
She's a very sweet, perfect, very healthy, but very little sweetheart. And Meg has small babies. We just have these gigantic babies. So we're always like everyone else's babies. We're like, they're so little.
I'm glad y'all had fun.
But you know what I forgot? Was I was actually gonna get to see their house too.
Yeah.
Like see it done. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm getting to see your new baby and your new house.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. It's been another great day on the homestead and off the homestead, on the Hollers homestead.
It was such a good day.
It was a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.